Commissioner, as you come down Spring Mountain, I think this Chinatown Mall is probably the biggest anchor, the biggest indication of Chinatown, of this whole cultural corridor, and it is a fantastic place.
It is, from restaurants to shopping to the cultural experiences that they have here, but going all the way up to Rainbow at this point in time, where you have another grocery store. So it meets the need of a very diverse population that we have in Clark County, which is approximately about 7%. So it's extraordinary, and it's fun, and it's full of life. So it's a great place to come visit.
And as you touched on the businesses here, you know, there's banks and real estate companies and travel agencies, and just it's the hub of the community. In fact, this is one of the main voting centers, has been for general and primary elections for decades.
It is. It really helps because it does sit off the 15. It does sit in a very important part of our district to where people can get here easily. The accessibility is good, and they can visit a different place than some of the other places we have in our town.
And Commissioner, while this is obviously a private business, Clark County does maintain some involvement in this, the Asian Overlay District. So maybe you could just kind of explain that. I think that's kind of a snapshot, kind of a blueprint to keep the cultural and the identity of a neighborhood. Is that fair?
You know, it really does, but it gives parameters, and those parameters are, like we had said before, the airport overlay. You have the Strip has identification there. So this has its own identification of if companies and businesses of this culture wanted to come in, it does give that they can be anywhere in a community, but this identifies the overlay factor of that they are here and that it has a cultural corridor.
So even for something as simple, well, not as simple, but I know that in the past, and I can't even remember if you were on the board at that time, there were talks of some casinos here in Spring Mountain. Is that something then that you would get involved in or have some say-so in the planning process?
Absolutely. We were going down that path, and the economy that we're in such times in 2009 has stopped that for a while. So hopefully in the future that will pick up again and add more to this whole corridor. It's made a difference in the structure of it, of how it looks, the cleanliness of the area. So new businesses help promote that. And what else could we ask for? That's just a great way to keep the community strong and viable.
And any opportunity we can to attract out-of-state, out-of-country visitors here, we're going to take it, and the Chinatown and Asian Cultural Center is just another way to market Las Vegas.
Absolutely, that's one way, and it's a great way.
Commissioner, this has been a very interesting year for all of us in Clark County. It's been a centennial year, 100 years young, Clark County. I know we were out of Blue Diamond a couple months ago, once a stop along the old Spanish Trail, and very much a part of our mining history. It's great to recognize some of these areas in our centennial year.
You know, it's fun. We did one in Blue Diamond. We did Good Springs, and Good Springs was in the 17 and 1800s, and so there was a mine there, and when you go, some of the original structures are still there. So the diversification of this area, like you said, from Summerlin to Good Springs, Mountain Springs, Sandy Valley, it's extraordinary, and it's rich with history. So these 100 years are sharing the richness, the culture, the diversity, what we are and who we are, and where we're going. To know where you're going, you have to know where you've come from. So we've shown that, and it's been fun doing that and showing some of the old wedding chapels, showing some of the homes that were here, you know, 100 years ago. And it's just been an extraordinary trip and a lot of fun.
I know you're also excited about a time capsule that's been buried here to also mark the 2009 as a 100-year centennial for Clark County.
Exactly. I wish they were doing it before another 100 years, but our children's children will be able to see what they're doing. What we did for District F, which I think will be a lot of fun in the future, is we went out and took pictures of what is here now. And so when that is opened, it'll show that where the desert was or where there were girders from the economy in 2009 could be flowing buildings. And so it's going to be pretty interesting to see where it is and where it goes. So it should be an extraordinary way to see history.
Commissioner, it's again, as a young community, it is just amazing, and it is nice to be able to continue on and tell the story of Clark County, and you know, try and get people more involved and more interested in what is going on here.
Well, the difference here being is that we have so many transient people that after a while they know that they really are entrenched in believing in what Clark County is. So we are a baby country, a baby state. You know, 100 years is really nothing when you think of the East Coast, or if you think of the world, as how many countries were there way before us. So it's extraordinary where we've come in just this 100 years. I mean, we've even, kind of funny here, we always say we blow buildings up to create new. So you don't see that in too many parts because we constantly are recreating a major portion of Clark County, but our citizens are so important, knowing that they are part of the big picture and that to participate makes a big difference in our county.
Commissioner, speaking of a major part of District F is your rural districts. We've discussed Blue Diamond and Good Springs. You've got Sandy Valley, you've got Prim, you've got Jean. What types of things, what types of issues do you have in your rural parts of District F that are similar or completely different than the folks of us that live here in the Valley?
You know, other than the distance and the larger parcels and not as many homes and not as many roads and streets and freeways, very much alike. Health issues, you know, school issues, wanting parks, wanting community centers. They really have the same needs that the main areas of our community have, whether it be Summerlin or Henderson or North Las Vegas. They really have the same wants and desires that anyone else has. They just choose to live in more of a bedroom community, a little bit quieter, really know everybody. It's very unique out there. A lot of things hub around the cultural centers out there. So it's exciting to go out there and visit from the closest to the furthest. You know, it's an hour drive to Sandy Valley. And when you get there, it's just extraordinary.
And as you say, they care about their parks. They need their senior centers, their community centers, which
right.
You've helped open here in the past year or so also. And as you say, that's as they care about those things as much as we need those things in the Valley.
Absolutely. So it's very important to them, and we want them to know that they are important.
Moving a little bit closer to home, Summerlin, I know, has been a great community partner for us in Clark County, for the city of Las Vegas, for our entire economy. I know you partnered with them in a cleanup here this fall. Talk a little bit about that day.
You know, we had BLM, we had major construction people, we had landscapers. It was the largest cleanup, Republic Services, donations from all entities of about 600,000 pounds of what was taken out of the desert. And the lesson there is we want people to know that our desert is a beauty in itself and that it's very important that the no dumping take place. So the partnership was overwhelming. We had hundreds of citizens that came out and scoured the desert, and we were out there just picking up trash and actually a few snakes along the way that we put further out in the desert. So a huge beehive. So it was a fun time for everyone. It was done exceptionally well, well organized. The Howard Hughes Corporation and Summerlin were outstanding, along with, you know, Department of Transportation, BLM. It was just a very, very incredible, organized, 600,000 pound bit of trash, from spas to mattresses. So please, let's really take care of our desert. It belongs to all of us, and it was incredible how well it looked afterwards.
Commissioner, you're no stranger to rolling up your sleeves and pitching in, helping clean up in situations like that when you have to, but we're all stewards of the desert around here. And with that, I know the Board of County Commissioners, Southern Nevada Health District, are looking to actually increase the rewards to catch illegal dumping. This is a good thing.
You know, Summerlin and the Health District, we looked at, if we could double that, would people know we're very, very serious on the cleanliness and how our community looks. We get visitors all the time that say how incredible it is. We want it to stay that way. So we need to each respect that and know, you know, if you see someone dumping, quite frankly, you know, let the county know, 455-3500, let us know, and we will try to get out there as quickly as possible.
And along the same lines, I know the board has also been looking at penalties, increasing penalties closer to home to maintain your business, maintain the state of your property. Talk a little bit about that effort and just how keeping every little bit clean in your neighborhood helps the entire neighborhood.
Well, it really does. It helps the resaleability, it helps the cleanliness of a community. It just maintaining our properties, whether it be a business or a house, is very important. And we're sensitive to the needs of people today, that jobs have been lost and that foreclosures are there. But just getting people to be aware how will help. We do some community cleanups. We've done a number of them in District F. You know, once again, we've done at least 2 graffiti cleanups a year. We do neighborhood cleanups. They can call up and ask about grants. Mike Shannon works on that with neighborhoods on what they can do.
Okay. And how important, you're a Realtor Commissioner, so in addition to knowing your districts in District F, you know the districts, or pardon me, you know the communities here in Las Vegas. How much does one bad house, one unkept yard, some broken windows affect the entire neighborhood?
Completely. It's amazing how much someone will drive through a community and say, not certain I want to live here. So it does help everyone. And sometimes if you have a neighbor of need, let's pitch in. Let's be a community that cares about the person that might have lost a job. So that would be exciting, to make sure that we take some accountability to each of our homes, each of our businesses, and know that it does help each of us in the future. So it'll be an exciting time that if we get anything out of 2009, that we know we're stronger, we know how to survive, we know what the sense of community truly means in a county that usually has transiency. So my hope is that we will grow stronger and closer together and make everyone know how important they are.
All right, well, we'll ask you about your vision for 2010 here in just a second, but we must take a quick break. We'll continue in your neighborhood here at the Chinatown Mall with District F Commissioner Susan Brager. Stay tuned.